Hey, we're back at the high maintenance hangar for another week of shenanigans. Walked in a few minutes ago. I'm feeling much better than I was last week. It's probably going to be a short week. I've said before, we're at the microscope stage. Let me show you what's going on. Like I said last week, Jan's been diligently making these covers. To cover up all this cabling so people can't get in here and mess with cables that actually control the airplane. So he's in the process of this one last panel that's got to go in here, and that'll be out of aluminum. And then started installing the quilted material in the sides. Dave Thompson, you may remember him, did some upholstery work for us up in the nose. He's just took a pattern of this back wall. We'll put this same quilted material on this back wall. Kenneth patterned all this out. Dave's just going to sew it up and get it ready to go in. Had to make some modifications where this cable goes through here because of this panel. So the interior's coming right along. Kenneth has got a bunch of the ceiling panels made. So now it's just cutting and pasting and getting this installed. So you may remember a couple of weeks ago, got the HSI, the DG. HSI is horizontal situation indicator, DG is directional gyro, and then we got the turn and bank over there. Those are 28 volt. I took them out of this side in anticipation of the windows getting installed. That still hasn't happened yet, but Bob and John have got them all wired up and they're ready to go. Last week's video I talked about the ELT. ELT, for those of you that don't know, is an emergency location transmitter. In the event of the worst that could happen is crashing somewhere, that would send out a signal alerting the airspace community that there's a crash somewhere and they can locate it with us. So ELT stands for Emergency Location Transmitter. Jan has already got it mounted in the back of the airplane, but we're going to have to put a remote switch in the panel for the pilots to be able to see. You know, things happen, hard landing, things like that. Hopefully that will never happen. Might set off the ELT. They need to be alerted in case that beacon is going off. So that's a job coming up real soon. We're still working on getting these painted. We do have a promise next week. One of our airplane buddies around the field tells us he's got a portable spray booth and some paint and is willing to paint them for us. So we're still waiting for that to happen so we can get rid of this undesirable mess under the nacelles. It really sucks on all sorts of levels. In other news, we need to spend a bunch of money on the fire extinguisher bottles, and I want to hear from you. If I started up the GoFundMe, probably the $8,000 range, would there be interest in donating to that? One of those necessities of flying one of these big machines. So let me know in the comments what you think, if that's something that anybody would be interested in participating in. Hey folks, I forgot to mention that thanks to you, I have exceeded the 2,000 subscriber threshold. We're at like 29, and thanks to you guys for subscribing to our channel. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, I know I haven't got 4 million subscribers. I don't have millions of views per video, but I enjoy sharing with you guys what we're doing here. And I really appreciate the comments that you guys do. Let me see what's going on in the hangar. Well, it's been a long minute since I've climbed up in the tail. And I really don't like being in this space. I feel like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But the reason I'm in here is to give you guys a little insight on the things we're dealing with. We've just been noodling the placement of the ELT, the structure that's got to go into it, ELT Emergency Locator Transmitter, and wiring and all of that stuff. And Jan's going to explain what we've been noodling. Did I tell you I hate being in this space?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, have you not said it lately, but
Yeah, well, I haven't been in here lately either. So, and I'm happen to be sitting on this really neat little table that Douglas had in here for all of the radios that used to be part of the communication system of the aircraft. Well, that was when communications took up most of a little bedroom, and now it's, in a box, real tiny. But during the war, they didn't have ELTs. When did ELTs first started becoming part of aviation?
probably 50s or 60s, I'm guessing, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, so Jan has already done some preliminary work, but tell our viewers what's been going on here, Jan.
Well, so installing this ELT, we had to find a place in the back of the airplane. ELT meaning the Emergency Locator Transmitter. So when the airplane crashes, they'll know where to come and find us. So the ELT sits on...
Heaven forbid.
The ELT sits on this old equipment rack table that Bob is sitting on. And so we're repurposing it for holding the ELT that we're going to install. Going to go in this position here. It looks like this. Alright, so now we have the ELT bolted to the little table here. We go in this orientation here, which the little arrow up here says forward, so all the little sensors inside will know when the airplane crashes, they'll all go off and start sending a signal, which will come out of the ELT. We'll eventually have a wire that goes up into the top here, and this is where the antenna is going to go one day, through this patch that's here, which we kind of think there was an antenna up in there once before, but it got patched over. The rest of the cabling will be installed, all this stuff here, which is only really actually just two cables here that we'll be using. They go clear to the front, and they'll talk to the remote switch that will be on the instrument panel for the pilots to operate, or to see if the ELT has gone off on its own.
And part of the reason why the ELT and the antenna are in this space, right here is the production brake. I don't know if you can see my hand. This is the production brake when it was in the factory. The tail would be attached to the fuselage at this point. Well, if, heaven forbid, there's a connection with the ground that shouldn't be, there's a possibility that this could split right here. And they want to make sure that the antenna is part and parcel to the ELT, so it can't become disconnected.
Yep.
And then, so now, this is not a cheap ELT. This ELT has a fancy connector on it. That's what do they call that one? It's only
a circular connector?
Yeah, no. The connector on this is proprietary to Artex ELTs, and so we're sourcing one of those. We're also sourcing a antenna for this.
That's it.
I guess one of the other things is that the old style ELTs, you used to buy them real cheap, and they used D batteries that you change out every year. Well, these new 406 megahertz, they've got a fancy, really expensive battery that also needs to change every 2 years or whatever it is. So, in the meantime, so I'm going to be gone next week. I've got to go up visit family in Pacific Northwest and go to a wedding. Jan's going to be here toiling, doing this work, and I'm not going to be here to help him. So wish him well on his endeavors, and I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks. We sure appreciate you guys watching our videos. I'm sorry we haven't done a lot of work, but man, we are seriously at the microscope stage of just little jobs that there's not much to see but have to be done, and there's a lot of thinking that goes on in the process. So again, thanks for watching our videos. If you haven't subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.